All right. It's all good. Just had to eat some food before actually starting to do this. Gotta go back to the game now. There we go. Let me fix myself. Alright, so hello and welcome everybody to another stream. This is the second time I'm streaming this. I decided I have to finish this. So yeah. Let me just give a little bit of the disclaimer that I can now make, and a little summary as to what happened last time. So the disclaimer is this is only a visual novel. As you can find it on the Steam store, it's a free-to-play game. The only added content is like extra soundtrack that you can buy separately, and an art book for the game as well. So yes, this is a visual novel, or the game, as the title says, a kinetic novel. Visual novel is the same thing, respectively. Also, this game has a lot of bad reviews on Steam, which is why I decided to at least pick it up. You know, it's a short game from what I've seen. That's why I've titled this as the ending, because I believe that I will end the game on stream today. So yeah, I'm hoping for that. Also, now a bit of the summary. So I'm probably just gonna. It was a lot of dialogue to take in last time, so I'm just gonna try to cut it up and try to get to the point as fast as I can. So the game is about the game centers around a 30-year-old man. The age doesn't seem to change, even though some time seems to have passed from the time I was playing. But every time when the narration is taking place, it says the 30-year-old man, ABC, and whatnot. So in the beginning of the game, you're kind of, and I'm saying this now, like this is a spoilers, like this whole thing is gonna be basically spoilers now, because we're at basically near the end part of the game. So in the beginning part of the game, you are misled into thinking that a 30-year-old man runs into a little girl in the park, and he takes that little girl home and basically takes care of that little girl for some time until she grows really attached to him. She finds out about his wife, and she basically wants to replace his wife. She sees that this man is really sad. She wants to replace the wife and whatnot. Mind you, we're still thinking that this is a little girl. Like, she could be like 10 years old. Maybe. So Dayton was right on the mark. And hello movies, sorry guys, I'm just giving a little review. I'll check you guys out in a second. So, right, throughout the game, you're thinking that this 30-year-old man is taking in this small girl. So I'm in disbelief while I'm still playing through the game. So, again, let me reiterate. A 30-year-old man takes in a little girl from the park. She seems lonely. She looks sad. She was crying. It looks like she has bruises on herself as if she were fighting. And the only thing we know about her is that she has no memory and that her name is Ambre, the name of the game. Now we skip towards when things get really deep, because apparently, you know, they've already had relations, they got married and whatnot. So clearly something is up. Like, how can society accept a 30-year-old man and a 10-year-old girl getting married, walking arm in arm in the street and whatnot? And that's when the twist kind of takes place, when the game sort of like resets itself, but in the actual narrative of what's actually happening, it wasn't a little girl after all. It's actually a very, I would say, a woman with some mental problems. Something happened, which I hope today we will get into that story. And honestly, I was in disbelief, like, all throughout yesterday, because I did this live stream, like, at 3 a.m. Saturday. So, I was really tired all day yesterday because of that stream. And I was in disbelief. I'm like, wow, this game is one huge troll. So, honestly, like, it's no wonder this game got bad reviews on it. It's just talking about, like, pedophile elements. This game is towards, like, those who like little children and whatnot. You know, they don't like the narrative that it's telling, that a 30-year-old man takes in a little girl. But if you play through the game like I did, look, I was so close to quitting the game that night. But for the sake of the game, I needed to see this through the end. I continued to play, and that's when the dark realization came. When the game reset itself, and now we were seeing the story, which I didn't get too far into it, which we're gonna get to right now. I just felt like I needed to give some backstory as to what this game is about, and so far what has happened. So again, let me take it right back from the beginning, third time, final time, before I continue. 30-year-old man took in what seemed to be a little girl home, and he was taking care of her and whatnot. So, and you know, she was saying like, do I need to go to school? Like, nope, no school. You just chill here, you know, watch TV. We can play together at night and stuff like that. And that's what happens. So the girl got really attached to him, and she wanted to replace his wife. And she looked at the photos and was like, that girl looks a lot like me. We find out that it was actually her. She has some problems, and so she basically lost her mind and got amnesia again. So that's where we're about to jump into. So yes, that's what the game is about. I'm about to load up the save file, so let me just say what's up, you guys. I hope you're having a fantastic Sunday so far. Welcome once again to one of my streams. We're gonna be finishing this game today, hopefully. Hello Josh, how you doing? Hello Vegeta Kid, welcome, how you doing? Movies, my man, how you doing? Dayton, hello, thank you for stopping by once more. Anime Sniper J, welcome to the stream. Who else? Cringe Gaming was here as well, thank you very much. Noobcat was here as well, thank you for stopping by as well. And so, without further ado, no more wasting time here. Yeah, AGB Persona 5, awesome stream last night. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump into this game. I'm gonna load it right where I left off. So you saw the thumbnail, right? The thumbnail was the girl we were perceived to believe that he was taking in. The little girl, right? Now look at that woman right there. That woman is that same little girl. It's as if her mental problems are making her believe that she is a little girl. But hopefully we're gonna get more story as to what happened. I'm talking too much. This game has a lot of text. Not that much, but it has a lot. So I'm gonna be reading a lot. So let me just take another sip of water. There we go. Oh my god. Anyway. Yeah, sorry, I need to take a breather after that. Because this game, it hits you. It hits you. It's so misleading at the beginning. Anyway. The stuffed animal tea party, hosted by the Blue Monkey, was obviously not going as planned. The man examined the little girls and he keeps saying, oh no, he's not saying little girl anymore. The text has changed. Before, it said the man examined the little girl's every move with care. I'm probably mistaken on that. I'll have to check back on it, but there's differences. The game is basically playing over again. Anyway, the man examined the girl's every move with care. She finally noticed his presence. And before I had to like speak in a lower voice, it was really dark in my room because it was like 3 AM, guys, honestly. That evening, Tristan Mallory admired little Amber as she wolfed down her food, half amused, half distracted. Seeing her so happy soothed his heart a little, but at the same time, it was heartbreaking. He remembered the blissful days already long gone, with difficulty, but he still remembered them. He remembered that beautiful young lady, her adorable smile, her cheerfulness, her promises. In front of Amber's overflowing enthusiasm, Tristan Mallory couldn't help but smile faintly, almost pitifully. Yes, that's it, he kept telling himself. As if to reassure himself, all I'm doing is keeping her around until she remembers who she is and what she's lost. Waiting for her to remember, if she ever managed to someday. So now we're getting some different dialogue than what we did last time. Because last time it was just him looking at her, and we're thinking like, wow, this guy is a true dark hidden pedophile. Like, wow. Because he was basically thinking about this little girl, but now we're actually getting some actual monologue from his thoughts and what he's thinking. It's painful for him to see her like this because it keeps happening, and from the looks of it, it's happened more than just twice. It's as if he's used to this routine, but we need to see where this leads to. Tristan Mallory could have been an ordinary man with an ordinary life in his day if his daily life hadn't changed dramatically a few years ago due to a dire event. Oh, okay, I think they're gonna explain it. Since that day, he was the victim of an infernal circle, an ordeal that seemed never ending. He had been so happy, so fulfilled with the woman he loved, the woman he had married, Amber, so charming, whom he had sworn his life to. Amber had gone mad. He had never realized how obsessed she was about having children until their doctor announced to them that she was sterile. That's what happened. That's what happened when we saw her too at the clinic as her little child form. You know, that's what we were seeing, because that's what the game is making us believe that she is. We saw her, and then that's what happened. When the doctor told her, like, you shouldn't push yourself too hard, like, she probably went to the same doctor more than like 3 times, and he's thinking like, this woman is going crazy, like, hey, take care of yourself. If you keep trying so hard, you're gonna end up hurting yourself. And he was recommending some other forms of, to help her get it impregnated and stuff like that. So she broke down after hearing the words that she is sterile. She wanted to have kids so badly. Anywho, let me see. An issue that seemed resolvable to him, but to her, it was as if she had dealt the death penalty. They could have put themselves in the hands of science, or just given up on that project altogether to make a new one. They could have been satisfied with their everyday life, but not for her. Amber wasn't willing to let her little girl's dream go, to change a comma of an idyllic fairy tale she was promised. It was a need. It had to go that way and that way only. Then the pressure she put on herself had the upper hand. She couldn't be perfect. She couldn't conform to herself with exactitude that all those absurd norms imposed on her. Something in her head, like a fragile thread, broke. She had an emotional breakdown. Right in front of her husband's bewildered eyes, she dived in one go into a kind of insanity. As sudden as it was violent, from which she didn't want to return. Refusing to face reality, she escaped in a long dream, a long nightmare, where she became untouchable. Amber reverted to childhood, where everything was easier, where everything was still possible. She didn't recognize her husband anymore, or didn't want to recognize him. So that right there, guys, basically explains how this game began, except we don't know that this little girl is actually his wife, and that we're seeing like a projection of how the woman is seeing herself. So basically, the beginning of the game is not through the point of view of the man. The beginning of the game is the point of view of the woman, who sees herself as a little girl. She has regressed. My God. So, he had to pretend not to know her each time, tame her each time, until she would have a new breakdown and everything would reset again. He had to try to make her happy and help her get better each time, even if it meant bending to her every will, even if it meant living in a world of pretend, even if it meant unrequited love on his part. During this cycle, once more intrigued, Amber took advantage of his absence to open a drawer she had never touched before. She had found the key in her guardian's room. Inside was a big leather notebook. Convinced she had found a treasure, she grabbed it and opened it. It was a photo album. Spread on the pages were bright smiles and tender gestures. Again, she looks at the photo album. Now, let me just say a little piece here. So last time, he explained that he had to like hide all this. Like, I thought he was throwing it away, but no, he's just hiding it because this is his memory. The photo album, pictures of her and them together from when they got married and when they met each other and whatnot. You know, this is all pictures of them. So if the guy really thinks about it, if he really didn't want this girl to see this, he'd just take it to work with him. Because he's clearly a man with a good paying job. He has a good job and whatnot. So he should just take it to work with him, like a bag, just some duffel bag, and you know, like, hey guys at work, don't mind me, I'm just gonna put this here. I can't have it at home for a while. You know, like, make something up. Like, don't keep it in the house unless this is gonna begin again. This is happening because a man is letting this happen. Either that or he's just not using his head correctly. Oh man. Just fix myself here. Browsing through the pictures, the little girl discovered her... Okay, so they're saying little girl again, because now we're back to her. She's thinking of herself as a little girl, so the narrative keeps changing. You guys are just going wild in the chat. Her guardian, young and dashing in the arms of a coquettish young lady. Dressed soberly and tastefully, she was strolling along the seashore with a shawl on her shoulders or in a park holding an ice cream. But what caught her eye was a very specific picture that toward the center of the album. Tristan, wearing a suit, was leading his lover out of the church with the clumsy footsteps under the shower of flower petals. She looked so happy, so fulfilled in her large, refined white dress, that Amber was stupefied. All the more so as the bride looked exactly like her. That was the very big hint in the first part of the game. All the more so as the bride looked exactly like her. I was still thinking that this is a little girl and that this, like, at first when I read that, I'm like, maybe the man is actually related to the girl and something happened, and the wife, I kept thinking the wife is dead. Flurry, who was here last time, he was thinking that, be careful, Cringe, this might be a projection of the future. Take care of your wife now. Yeah, movies. I'm kind of focused on the game because I really got invested into the story last time, and I'm here to finally put an end to it. So yeah, that was the very first big hint. Throughout the game, I was thinking that the man's wife is probably dead, and Flurry came up with his own theory that from the hints that we got, maybe she's in a coma because he keeps referring that she's in a dream, she's somewhere where I can't go to her and I wish I could go to her, and yeah, that's what's happening here. So she's so pretty. What are you looking at? Tristan's sudden appearance made her jump, so much that she dropped the forbidden object. The 30-year-old man's gaze darkened immediately. Again, this is his fault. Why doesn't he has to take this out of the house? We get this description again. His gaze darkened immediately. Why are you keeping it at home where she can find it? You searched through the closet to see what my wife looked like, didn't you? She answered in a shaky voice, guiltily. Yes. Are you going to scold me? Of course not. I just would have preferred that you didn't see it. Why? Why don't you ever talk about her? I want to know. He sighed, appearing upset as he looked into those begging eyes. Eyes that he had never been able to resist for long. Reluctantly, he sat down on the couch and told her how he had met the one he thought would be the love of his life, and related all that they had gone through together. Amber listened with wide-eyed attention. She liked that story very much. I think that may be another hint. I can still pay attention to the chat, you know. So I'm still paying attention. When I see something, I'll comment on it and whatnot. I just saw like half of you were like at each other's throats or something. Yeah, I'm replying to movies. And hey, Johnny, what's up? I saw Johnny in here earlier as well. So how you doing, Johnny? Hope you're having a good one. Tristan seemed to briefly get younger as he evoked the past, describing how head over heels he had been for her and how happy she made him. Their peaceful and ordinary everyday life was something the little girl envied. Caught up in the tale, she couldn't help but pressure him. And then, what happened? Until the light shining in the man's green eyes brutally vanished. And then, she left. Where to? Far away to a place where I can't reach her anymore. Every day I pray that she'll somehow hear me, that she'll wake up, that she'll remember me. I don't know if she'll ever emerge from that dream that's keeping her captive. So here is where I thought, like, I started to lose the thought that the wife was probably dead. And that's when Fleury came up with his own theory that maybe it's a coma, and that became more believable. Yeah, maybe it's a coma. And then she asked us as well, is she dead? Sometimes it feels like it, but no, she's still alive, just in a different world from mine. If I could have joined her, I would have. I would have sacrificed everything for her. And today, she's forgotten me, forever. That's sad. Tristan sighed again, head down, as a heavy, crushing silence came between them. Could anyone imagine his suffering? Could anyone imagine what it felt like to be in his shoes? To see that your loved one can't even recognize you anymore. That she had forgotten everything about you, about your relationship. When Amber, the little girl stuck in a woman's body, asked him why he was crying, he wanted to scream, because I love you, because we were so happy together, because I can't live without you. Because I need your presence, your affection, because I'm all alone, because you're my wife. The woman I love, I beg of you, come back to me. Get a hold of yourself and snap out of it. But it was useless. He had already tried to shake her, to talk to her like she was his wife. But if he did, she would remain terrified. She would have moved away from him. She would cry, telling him he shouldn't hurt her. So he gave up. He stopped trying to get his role back. He kept pretending, and his suffering got worse day after day, like a sly disease trying to consume him further. Fake a smile. Forget about yourself. Don't think about anything other than reassuring her. How could he go on like that without being worn out? Tristan Mallory was no Superman. He was often on the verge of losing it. He despaired to see no progress even, no hope for healing. Would Amber ever return to normal? He didn't believe that anymore. He'd become too disillusioned. One evening when he was feeling... I hate when this music plays. Take some more water. One evening, when he was feeling especially worked up, he dared to yell at the young lady who was doing her best to please him. He immediately regretted it, but the deed was done. Amber's voice trembled dangerously. While getting close, he noticed her hands were shaking frenetically. Eyes wide open, soaked in tears, she exploded. I'm sorry. I just want you to love me. I just want you to look at me. Why do you only look through me? Okay, so we just skipped through a lot from the first time we played this. Because now she's already declaring her love again to this man. Am I not good enough? Is that it? I will never be as good as she was, will I? She? But Amber. Who are you talking about? Dumbfounded, Tristan held her in her arms as tightly as he could. No, he truly couldn't understand. He couldn't understand such intense and sudden sobs. He only loved one person in this world, only one. How could she believe for a second that she had been beaten by someone else? Reassured by his gesture, Amber wanted to explain herself. Your wife. I can see that her departure left you very sad. I want to bring a smile back to your face. I wanted to take her place so you'd forget about her. For a split second, Tristan Mallory was breathless. It was surreal. He would have pinched himself to make sure he wasn't dreaming, but no. The pain in his chest was far too real, too pitifully carved in him. Amber, locked up in her little girl's dream, was becoming jealous of herself, and she was trying to surpass her happy alter ego of the past. She was trying to destroy herself from her husband's memory, as if to rewrite the past, like some kind of unconscious suicide. How could he answer such a declaration? How could he find the right words? Catching his breath with difficulty, the 30-year-old man took Amber by the shoulders and looked her in the eyes for a long time. He had to wake her up. He had to make her realize. He had to think of a way to tell her. After a brief sigh, he affirmed, Listen, I will never be able to forget my wife. Alright? It's impossible. But that doesn't mean I don't want you. It's the exact opposite, actually. You're very dear to me, Amber. You hear me? I need you. You already have her place. So please, stop crying. Don't make it even harder than it is for me. The young girl shyly dried her tears, and her features changed to an adorably naive expression. She looked sincerely despaired. You're still okay with me? What made you think I'd abandon you, huh? Nothing. It's just that you seem to love her so much. I'm a bit jealous. Why is that? I don't know. When I look at those pictures, I can't help but tell myself I must absolutely make you happy. I think I love you. So in that part right there, I was losing my stuff that night because, again, we were seeing the game through her little girl mind. And her image was projected as a little girl. So immediately the game was looking... yeah, movies. If you were here in the first part movies, you would immediately know what's going on. That's why I'm taking like these cuts in between the text to actually explain what I felt while playing the first time around. Again, the game was very misleading at first. And look, when she was a little girl in this part, I was already feeling so wrong about this. Like, did this 30-year-old man just confess to a 10-year-old girl saying that he loves her and that you already replaced my wife? What is going on? I was thinking. So yeah. That's the difference right now. Tristan felt all the courage and determination he had worked up melting away overnight as he started sobbing as well. Did she recognize him? Just a little? Was that a sign from her subconscious? Had she finally got a grip of herself? But I love you too. I've loved you for so long. I love you so much it makes me sick. For real? You're not treating me like a kid? Of course not. Then, prove it. Oh my god. And here, again, I was losing my stuff. Akira Kurusu! Welcome to the stream, my friend. How you doing? I'm sorry if I've seen some people come and go from the chat. I'm like heavily invested in this story, but how you doing, Akira? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for stopping by. Oh, man. But yeah, like I was saying, when the little girl said, prove it, I was again losing my stuff, you know. I try so hard not to curse sometimes, but I feel like it's inappropriate right now. I was losing it that night, because it's like, what does she want? What does she want this man to do? Like, what is she asking this man to do? Anywho, then Tristan responds, what do you mean? Show me you regard me as a true woman, that you really love me. Amber seemed dead set on it, so Tristan softly kissed her lips. Again, that's another part of dialogue that were misleading in the game, and I was thinking very negatively. So with the perception that the first half of the game, as the little girl, then you look at the reviews, it all makes sense. But let's see how we can end it. You know, I might have to look at all those negative reviews to see how many people actually completed the game. The warm and pleasurable feeling went through his head. For a few seconds, he felt as if he was holding his wife in his arms. Because you are holding your wife in your arms. As if she had come back for real. Oh, that's what you meant. That delicate skin, which smelled deliciously like vanilla, reminded him of the happy days. Long afternoons spent laughing in the sun, peaceful evenings under the light of the stars, or by a fire. Of a shared umbrella to a shelter from the storm. She was here, so close, so far, within a finger's reach. He only had to close his eyes and believe in this dream. The illusion smiled faintly at him. At his limit, he embraced her. If only you knew how much I love you. He had so many things he would have wished to tell her. So many that flooded of words blocked his throat and nothing could come out. So far. So, for lack of words to make her understand his feelings, he used his body. Alright, so he used... Again, that was a part that I... Oh my god. You know. Just imagine this scene, and it was a little girl. That's how the beginning of the game was. That's all I have to say. Like, I'm gonna keep repeating myself for that because... You know. I'm trying to give the game justice here. I'm liking it so far. So much that I'm already invested in the story. When dawn's rays of light crept through the window, Amber was profoundly asleep, lying atop Tristan's still lukewarm body, eyes surrounded by dark circles, the weight of regrets, a fatigue he couldn't get rid of. He stared at her with a sad smile on his face. It was just a dream, wasn't it? When you'll wake up, you'll be a child again, right? The only answer he got was a light groaning, softened by such a serene face. He left a kiss on her fresh cheeks. As soon as he did, the sleeping lips spread, formed to a happy smile. I wonder what you're dreaming about. Say, won't you invite me over there? Tristan Mallory was wearing of the infernal circle that broiled his prayers in a permanent cacophony. Cacophony. Something like that. I don't know how to pronounce that word. I think it's cacophony. Once more, unbeknown to her, he mimicked a fake wedding ceremony, a fake joy to please her. Never again would the fresh and innocent smile of the pictures return. Ah, that's right, so that's what he did. So as a little girl, we thought this guy actually married her, but it was a fake wedding, so I guess he orchestrated something and made it look like a real wedding, but it was a fake one. Because in reality, they are already married to begin with, so yeah, there's that. Yeah, it's a twisted story. That is for sure. Movies. Anywho, the masquerade drew out until Amber started to ask to have children again and discovered the truth one way or another, which would invariably make her plunge into madness as her obsession was so strong. To counter these numerous relapses, the 30-year-old man often went to the hospitals with his wife to meet with psychiatrists in charge of her and review possible changes. Okay, this is a new scene now. We're actually seeing a doctor. So, Tristan, how's Amber lately? Has her condition improved a little? Not yet. The doctor frowned compassionately. He had been in charge of the Mallory case for some time now, and he felt particularly powerless in the face of such an impasse with the young lady. He had tried it all without success. You never know. Is that what you called me, doctor? He grabbed the pen and played with it nervously while staring at Tristan. No, To be honest, I knew Amber would relapse again. One of my colleagues told me that after that. Oh, it's a misspelling. Wow, that's just throwing me off. Oh, I see. That's what you're talking about, cringe. Anyway, let me reread that because there's a typo right there. Unless that's an actual word, but I think that's a typo. One of my colleagues told me the other day that allegedly your wife stopped by a hospital to do the usual dramatic routine. She ran into an intern that didn't really know how to deal with the situation. I regularly explain her case to the newbies, but between theory and practice, you know. The poor boy meant well. He told her the truth while trying to sugarcoat it, to make her reflect on it. She had another anxiety attack, obviously. By the time he told her to sit down to call for me, she was already gone. If it had been me, I would have tried to buy some time anyway. What's done is done. There's no need to apologize, doctor. It's not your fault. You know as well as I do that she regularly loses it. And lying to her about it doesn't do any good. The fact remains that I booked today's appointment so that I could check on how you're faring and how she's been since that unfortunate incident with my colleague. Nothing's changed. The doctor sighed. He stuck the pen in his coat pocket and started walking. Alright, hurry on back, Vegeta. Obter is not in the English dictionary. Yeah, that typos like that will mess me up. The other leg. While nervously scratching his beard, he mumbled in an understanding tone. Frankly, I'm impressed. I really don't know how you can keep going like this, Tristan. In your place, I wouldn't be able to. But I still have to make you see a doctor too. We never know. You're not safe from having a breakdown just like her. I totally understand, doctor. You know, every cycle, I try to do things a bit differently. But in the end, I'm tired, worn out. I've lost all hope. So all that I can do for her is make her as happy as possible during that golden time where she's living a perfect childhood. All that's left of the woman I love is a shadow, so I hope she'll eventually find rest. The two men gazed at Amber, who was in the hospital's hallways in the distance, playing like a little girl. Suddenly Tristan broke the silence, his voice trembling. Sometimes I wonder, is she ever going to get out of that prison she built around herself to avoid suffering? Is she ever going to accept facing the outside world? Or is she going to keep living an eternal golden dream where everything's perfect? I wish I could promise you that she'll wake up from that long nightmare. But something inside me thinks she will never call her obsessions into question. Which is an immense waste. Because of that, she's forsaken herself from a life that could have been wonderful. Meanwhile, Amber Mallory was cheerfully having a chat with what she thought to be another little girl her age. In reality, the young woman was babbling deliriously with dead eyes to her own reflection in the mirror. Still stuck in that never-ending dream, free of hardships. Wow, I had to that broke me. Oh, about the sub-goal thingy, I have to change it. Yeah, so if I see it update and stuff like that, that's why it's a little tricky. This one doesn't actually update on its own. I have to do the updates myself through Streamlabs, so yeah. So when I see people that say that they subscribed or when they pop up in my notification, then I have to go into Streamlabs and change it myself. So that explains that. Wow, so she was talking to herself in the mirror. A reflection of herself. My God. You know what? I've got a lover. Yes, yes, for real. I'm even going to marry him soon. And we'll be happy until the end of time. And have lots of kids, just like in fairy tales. How could it be otherwise? You're right. Every day will be like a celebration. If only I didn't have that strange feeling. I think I've lost something important. Really important. But I can't remember what it was. Uh-oh. I just got an achievement. That's it? That's the end? Aww. Well. Wow. I'm gonna look. Okay, so that was I need to check to see if there's more endings to this game, but this was a visual novel of just a story playing out, so I don't see how I could get. Wow. Okay, so yeah, I don't think there is another ending because I have no choice in the matter. We're reading basically like a book. So in the beginning, see, that's her right there as a projection as a little girl. And then the one with the black hair is her actual appearance. Well then, that actually left me a little... Yeah, that actually left me with a bad taste. Because I thought there would be some sort of conclusion with Amber and Mallory. I'm sorry, Tristan and Amber. Well then. Man. Maybe I have to like start again or something. But if I start again, it's really just gonna start me from the beginning of the game. Where he sees, did you see the guy starts off that he's, you know, tired, 30-year-old man. He goes back home and then he finds, he's looking for someone but everything is empty because the girl just had a breakdown. Again. And so he goes outside, puts on his coat, and he runs into this girl in the park. So we don't have the backstory that, you know, that's a grown woman. So he walks up to her as if, you know, he's pretending not to know her. And he's like, hey, why are you crying? And stuff like that and whatnot. You know, it continues like this. And then she says, she basically has like amnesia. She broke down, so she doesn't remember anything but her name and whatnot. So, you know, the grown man is talking to this little girl and he takes her home. So that's when I'm starting to feel suspect about this guy. But, you know, later on we find out that that's actually his wife and, you know, basically where I just started playing from. But yeah, this actually, I don't know, man. Right, Cringe, I know that. Because otherwise it would have been like a different game, like an actual visual novel, where you actually get to choose a piece of dialogue, which can affect the outcome of a game. But this is just a kinetic novel, only one ending, but man, I don't know. I was hoping to get rid of this uneasy feeling. I thought we would get more of a conclusion. Maybe there will be another game coming out for this, who knows? But I honestly thought I would get more of a conclusion from this game. No, yeah, Muhammad, of course. Anybody is entitled to their opinion. I actually enjoyed the game for what it was. You know, the beginning was very misleading. And then it hits you with that plot twist. Girl is actually the wife and she's gone crazy more than once already. This man is putting up with this cycle. I don't know how. This guy must be Jesus, like the most compassionate guy, the guy with the most patience in the world. I mean, come on. So yeah, I'm probably gonna write my own review on Steam. I'm gonna give it a, I don't know, the game felt kind of empty now. Like, ending it like this, it feels kind of empty, but I'm gonna give it a decent review. I'm not gonna say like this is the best game ever, 2017, confirmed, game of the year for the next 5 years. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm definitely not gonna give it a rating of a negative 20 out of 10 because, I mean, we have to be real here. Like, I have to give my honest opinions about this game. I don't know, honestly, movies. I have to check. So yeah, this game only has 6 achievements, and I got them all. I got all 100% for this game. But let me just I'm gonna have to search it up real quick to see. I should have paid attention in the credits because they probably said it like that. You give it a 7 out of 10, Cringe? Even though you weren't here for this first part? I think it's very vital that you're here for the beginning of the game to understand. Noobcat was here for like 5 minutes of the first stream, so she knows a little bit of what happened. So let me see here. Alright, so the tags on stream are, you know, free-to-play, casual, indie, visual novel, and anime. But given by the names of the people, this game was originally on another system, I believe. This is the Steam version. But yeah. You can hear the other thing in the back. Alright, so I'm gonna have to accept the story for how it is. The recent reviews for this game is currently under mixed, but the overall review is actually mostly positive now. But as soon as you look at the reviews, the ones at the top are not recommended, not recommended. Okay, and somebody in the reviews actually spoils it as well. I'll give you my rating in a second. So basically, you know, it says it right here in one of the reviews. He blacks it out, but that's a spoiler. So he says Ambre is about, okay, why? Okay, let me just read this review a little more as to why he's not recommending this game. Which is like, you could clearly, if you read fast and not get distracted, you could beat this game in under an hour, maybe a little over that. I honestly don't really know how to feel about this one. Some aspects I like, but overall, I think there's more off-putting things to this. If they would have changed a few simple things, my enjoyment would have gone up and I would have easily recommended this. Ambre is about a 30-year-old man named Tristan Mallory who finds a young girl named Ambre on a swing set near his apartment all alone. He takes her in and becomes her caregiver. And here's the big plot twist, is that she is not in fact a young girl, but his wife. She is described as a child trapped inside of a woman's body. Hence, why Ambre shows up in the story as a little girl in the beginning of the game. So the story gets gradually dark. I'm not going to read the rest of it, but let me see what the cons were. Okay, so his basically con of this, I'm gonna just read the first line, not the whole thing. He says, although I realize that this game isn't about pedophilia and has nothing in reality pedophilic to it, it still gives off that vibe and it feels a little bit uncomfortable. So he gives his explanation as to why, but most of the negative reviews are probably going to be the, okay, so he has a too long didn't read version. I recommend this to you only if you want a game you don't have to pay for, that you can finish quickly with all achievements obtained in one go. That was his basically too long didn't read version, which, you know, the reason as to why he would recommend it. Some people complain about the art. Oh man, somebody even complains about that there's too much reading. Got boring quickly. It's a kinetic novel. It's like a book. A book is gonna have a lot of words. It's gonna have a lot of rating. You know, what would have fixed your sentence is probably if you said too much reading, the story doesn't go anywhere for a while, it gets too bland quickly. Yeah, not my cup of tea. So yeah, I'm basically reading a couple of reviews here on Steam so you can get an idea of a lot of the negative reviews that I've gotten. So now it's time for mine, before I end this off right now. So basically I would give this a 6 out of 10. It was a good game. I really enjoyed it. In fact, my first stream of this game was basically because of reading these comments. I was also misleaded in the game, and that's why I titled my first stream, "Am I going to jail tonight?" Because I thought this was going to be some kind of, you know, pedo elements to this game. And I'm like, man, this game has gotten a lot of negative reviews. Let me see what it's about. So it's about a man and a little girl. Let's see where this goes. And that's why it was more like a meme stream last time, where I said, like, I'm going to jail. Like, what's that? Do I hear the police knocking on my door? Is that the FBI over there? So that was basically the most of my first stream last time with this game. And clearly, with that big plot twist, it changed completely. So yeah, I would give this game like a 6 out of 10. Probably a 6.5. I really was invested in the story. The art, I didn't mind too much. I actually grew attached to the art right away. Like, it looks cute. Don't you see her blinking every now and then and stuff like that? And then the game, like, they would put the eyes in this cutesy manner. It was good. You had a feeling I would say 6 out of 10? You know, and I'm being generous with this rating as well. I'm not just saying it to be a good guy. I'm not going to give it a 4 out of 10, because if I rate anything below a 5, that means I really didn't have a good time with this game, which is a total lie. I would literally be spitting saliva in your face with all my lies. Lies, deceit, I'm lying, got him, haha. That's basically what my spit would be telling you, but I'm not spitting, I'm not lying. 6 out of 10, it was good, it was enjoyable to me. The reason I gave it that rating is because how it ended. And I understand why it ended like that, and that's why it leaves it in that dark tone. Maybe if they make another game, it'll have a conclusion, but I felt like I wanted a conclusion. That's why, in my personal opinion, I will give it a 6 out of 10, because I felt that it didn't reach the conclusion that I sort of wanted it to reach. It just ended with them at the hospital, and the girl, she's basically left. The man is, for all we know, the man is gonna be trapped in this cycle forever until this woman passes away. And then the man will truly break down, and that's it. Game over. So that's why. Yo, Bexy, how you doing? How you doing? I know the stream is just ending because I just wanted to finish this game and whatnot, but yeah. I'm gonna have to make edits about this. I'm probably gonna leave this separate part cut out for obvious reasons, since I just gave my mid-review for the game. And yeah, that's gonna be it for this stream, guys. I'm probably gonna do some Persona 5 tonight, you know, since I haven't done the game in so long, and just to take a little break from Kingdom Hearts, since I am gonna start Kingdom Hearts again tomorrow. So if you stay tuned for a little later on tonight, I'll do Persona 5. So yeah. And that's gonna be it, guys. Thank you all for stopping by too. Thank you, Bexy, for stopping by. Really appreciate it. Movies, Cringe Gaming, Anime Sniper J, Noob Cat, Josh and Johnny. Who else was here? Muhammad, of course, he was here. Okay, so Cringe actually put what it meant here. Kinetic Novel is a brand of Japanese software publishing company, visual arts, that the productions of the Kinetic Novel label are unlike other visual novels, and that no choices are given to the player. So it's just, you know, you're just going through, basically just going through a normal story until you reach the ending, which sucks. And Vegeta as well was here. Yes, there will be a Persona 5 stream later tonight, so you guys look forward to that. I'll let you know on the Discord as well, so yes. So I let Nightbot put the, if I spelled it right. Yeah, there you go. I'll let Nightbot show you where the Discord is if you feel like you want to join, that's how I'll let you know when I'm gonna stream and whatnot. So yeah, thank you again guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the little bit. I know most of you were not here for the beginning of the stream. Like, the only ones who were here at the beginning were AJ, Dayton, and who else was here? I think it was only those two. AJ and Dayton were here. Somebody else might have been there. Noobcat was there for a while, but yeah, only those will actually get the story of what happened. So with that being said, I'm BlackwingKei, and I'm out of here. I will see you guys later tonight. You enjoy the rest of your day now. Bye now.